be around. I did things differently. I know you guys didn't always like that, but in the end, you always supported me. And I really appreciate you making the commitment to come today. So thank you guys. Thank you. One other gentleman who, along with Rich, my agent, helped make this happen initially to bring me to the Galaxy was Tim Lewicki, who was always a visionary and wanted to do something different and special, and really went out of his way to make this happen. So thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. I promise I'm trying to keep this short, but everyone told me to enjoy it, so I'm going to enjoy it. To all my teammates, some of you guys sitting down here, what's up, BJ? To the guys up here, to all the teammates I played with, the best soccer player I ever played with, Kino, Beckham, Omar, who was supposed to get a yellow card in his game Wednesday but didn't, so he didn't make it here today. And all the others who helped lift the trophy. In this sport, more than any other, you cannot single-handedly win anything by yourself. It's not basketball, where one player can dominate everything. You need a group of people, and it's not just 11 guys, it's 18 or 25 who throughout a season make you better. So I'm eternally grateful to all my teammates who helped lift trophies. You did? There's a lot of Landons. They're like 11 years old now. Good timing to all the Galaxy fans. I love you. You guys made this my home away from home. I grew up 2 hours away from here, hour and a half away from here. But every time I showed up to the stadium, you guys made me feel accepted, wanted, desired to be out there on the field, and you pushed me. And I love seeing the league what it is today, but you guys were all here from the beginning, and I appreciate you guys. All right, we're getting there, I promise. Thank you. So I want to touch on, for the last few, some lessons I've learned from those closest to me in my life. So when I was 15, and Bruce was referencing that national team, youth national team game I played against DC United. When I first got called into the youth national team at 15 years old, you can imagine how excited I was. And I remember telling my dad how excited I was about it. And he said, "Landon, I'm so excited for you. It's so exciting, but you gotta be careful. You're still 15. You're not invincible. Anything can happen." I said, "Dad, what are you talking about? I'm on my way to stardom. This is it." He said, "Son, I promise you, just be careful, be smart, work hard, but always play smart." So the day before I went into national team camp, was supposed to go into national team camp, I'm playing a game with my club team. I, for the first and last time in my career, tried to slide tackle someone. My leg got caught under me and I heard pop, pop. Broke my ankle, broke my tib fib. And as I now do with my kids, I got a, "I told you so." But throughout my career, I realized that the most important ability I had was my availability. I was always on the field. And Dad, you might not have known it at the time, but that was a lesson that I carried with me all the time, which was to take care of myself and be smart and be careful. And it's the reason why this happens. You don't get this for being good for 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. It's for doing it over a long time. So thank you. All right, Mom. The most important lesson you taught me, you always said to me, if it stops being fun, don't do it. You didn't care if I was a soccer player, or a teacher, or a doctor, or an electrician, or an accountant, You just said, as long as you're having fun, do it, and if you don't, stop. There were times in my career, early in Germany, I was not having fun. And I made a pretty bold decision, brash decision, to leave. Because I wanted to enjoy it, and I wanted to play. I always tell our players now as a coach, you're a soccer player, you're not a soccer practicer, or a soccer influencer, or a soccer TikToker, you're a soccer player. And I wanted to play soccer, and that's what made me happy. So I carried that with me every step of the way, and I hope that's a lesson I can share with all of you and with your kids too. As long as you're enjoying it, great. If not, you don't have to do it. Thank you. All right, Rich. I was actually going to share that story about the gas. So Rich taught me a lot of lessons, and I see it today with kids and their agents. The one thing that often lacks from an agent is the ability to be honest and tell people what they don't want to hear. I was a 16-year-old superstar. I had the world at my fingertips. Nothing could take me down. And Rich consistently told me when I was making a bad decision. The first time I showed up with his car empty and he got in the next morning after I had left and he had to go to the gas station and be late for work, he called me and he said, I don't care how good you are at soccer, if you ever do that again, I'm not going to represent you anymore. And I just appreciate your ability to always shoot straight with me. I didn't always agree with it, didn't always like it in the moment, but I respect that and I carry that with me as a coach now. Just be honest with people and tell them where you stand. They will respect you for it. They don't have to agree, but they're always going to respect you for it. And I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, in closing, I was at a school this morning with an amazing artist, PQ, who painted a mural at a school. And I was, for the first time, quite emotional about all this and sort of soaking it in. And I just was thinking about how much this city has given me, Carson has given me, this facility has given me, this club has given me. I don't know about that, man. I always try, there's a phrase that my associate head coach, Nate Miller, who's here today, says to me all the time and says to our players, you always need to give more than you're taking. And every time I came here, I tried to give more than I was taking. I tried to give everything to this club because that's what I wanted to do. I was appreciative and grateful that I had this opportunity. So I hope you guys felt that. I always wanted to give more than I took. However, and in closing, the one thing you gave me, which is much more than I ever took, by happenstance, is being here for that long is where I met the love of my life, in Manhattan Beach. So I'll just briefly run you through how we met. Well, not how we met, but I'll tell you about our first date. So I had been in a weird place in my life. I had a Maserati, I sold it, I was driving a Ford Escape, pretty beat up, carried my dogs around in it, and I showed up to Hannah's door. I had been single at that time for 5 years. So I showed up, and this is the first girl I was actually serious about after speaking to her on the phone. And I was sitting in the driveway of her house, and I was thinking, do I just honk the horn? She'll come out? I said, no, I don't know if that sounds right. I should probably go to the door. No, I'll just honk the horn. In the end, it was right on the fence, and I said, oh, whatever, I'll just go to the door and knock on the door. So I knocked on the door, and I saw her beautiful smile for the first time, and that was that. And now we have 3 beautiful young kids. I tried to give a lot here, but you guys gave me more than I could ever imagine with Hannah and my 3 kids, so thank you guys.